order. We look around the corners. We tip most of the time. So you got my order. Look at this. Tonight I wanna live. Got a lot of love. Yeah, but no more to give. Goddamn. What's the point of being rich if you came up from the bottom?
We went through after this.
No. We would remember that.
Right.
Absolutely.
Remember,
we were about to go to that real bougie.
It was a real bougie one. And probably spent $6 on one taco with no tomatoes,
right?
No cheese, nothing.
Bro, how did we walk into? Man, we had a whole day of entire day of filming. We sweating. We tired. Across the street,
day,
right?
The whole day, I'm looking at that spot that we went to,
the taco area right there. You know what I mean? And we walk into the restaurant. It is fancy cloth napkins, cloth table cloths, and everything like that. You know, like the seats. You know, like they came from from Paris, something like that. Yeah, man. They had some dude in the corner playing the violin and whatnot and everything. And we just coming in there looking like death,
looking disheveled, right, and hungry.
Right. They give us the menus. They're all with this course meal, with this 7-course meal. This was the fanciest Mexican spot I've ever seen. I'm not playing. This is like some Rick Bayless
turnaround because what up, Aunt? That was the smoothest turnaround because I went to the restroom. By the time I came out, y'all was like, come on, let's go. We let them know that somebody had a blowout. We got to get up out
Yeah. We said somebody had a flat tire. We got to go. Right. So I mean, we looking like death in the corner. So we go across the street to the other spot. Just it's a regular hole in the wall kind of spot and everything, but it hit the spot. It was perfect for us. You know what I mean? For real. But next time though we get some tacos, we're going to Taco Line. I'm with it. So it's on Fullerton. It's on Fullerton. They tight. What's good, everybody? What's happening? What's good with y'all? Welcome. I'm very happy to be back. Back on the radio, back on the mics, back on the air, back with y'all, being able to chop it up with y'all on this Wednesday evening. As y'all know, I'm Maurice Prophet with B-Side Radio. B-Side Radio is a part of B-Side Studios. And so tonight is tonight's kind of like a different or very different type of episode because we're going to touch on a lot of current situations that are happening at this moment in time, but also touch on the past as well that connect with what's happening today and all that good stuff. But first and foremost, let me just get out the way. Big time shout outs to everyone in our listening audience and our watching audience right now. Shout out to Jessica. Shout out to Felix. I see you. What's up, bro? I see you, bro. Felix, I gotta holler at you too, man. Felix is a boxer. Okay, right? He's a boxer, but he's also training his sons to be boxers as well too. Nice. And Felix, he's a boxer. He's a DJ and all that stuff and everything. Okay. So I just started getting into boxing this week. Like this is my first week doing boxing, right? And
the story always starts, dude. That's how the worst stories always start. I just started.
Okay. Fam. All right. So here's here. Let me just tell you the little background, right?
Hey, just so you know, Jermaine on there.
JT, what up, boy? What's good, man?
Chris Mike.
What's that?
I said Chris Mike.
Chris Mike, what up, man?
You know what I'm saying? The crew is
everybody,
on there,
everybody coming through. Everybody coming
Courtney,
through.
what up?
Yeah. Shout them out. So Chrissy and I, we signed up for boxing classes at the Park District in Humboldt Park, right?
Got it.
So I'm looking forward to it because I'm like, I really want to get into this. I want the conditioning. I want to be able to to really be able to just keep my heart, my heart rate up and everything like that. Okay. Added to the already existing things I do with my workouts as of right now and everything. You know what I mean?
Go hard in the gym. I know that.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
Just to be able to capitalize a little bit. You know what I mean? Okay. So we got there on Monday, and it was like more like an informational or whatever. So it was it was Christine and myself, coach, and a couple other people. I was kind of talking about what we're gonna get into and everything. Yesterday was the first time I actually put the gloves on.
Got it,
bro. I'm not playing with you. You played football in high school, right?
I played football in high school.
Okay. You playing college too?
I played 1 year.
Okay.
Yep.
You remember how it was like when you were off season, when we got back into season?
Yes.
That first day back, that first day back, doing doing 2 days, and you know what I mean, all that stuff and everything, running routes and whatnot and everything. And that first day back, you're like, hey, gotta get back in shape and everything, right?
Right.
Imagine that, but think about like 20 years away from anything that's like on that level of athleticism.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So so the thing is though is that he told us too. He was like, look, this is not no type of like boxing aerobics or this ain't no sugary sweet kind of stuff.
Got it.
Like this is real deal. He's like, I want to train people to actually like compete.
Okay.
So I'm thinking to myself, cool, because I'm like I'm hyper.
I had a tiger in your head and everything, I bet.
Exactly. Yep. Hyper competitive. I'm like, bring it. I want it. I want all the smoke. I want all the pain. I want the sorrow. I want to feel this.
Got it.
Be careful what you ask for, because you will get it.
Yeah, give it to you.
Bro, man, I left there. I felt my soul was broke. I'm not playing.
Got it.
I'm not playing with you, man. This is another level of pain, right? Yep. So, but the thing is, I like it though.
That's good. But man, I got a guy named Chris, man, Chris Gonzalez. He does that. He does the MMA thing. Well, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I mean, he loves it. But I know that if I get in there as big as I am, I'm gonna get rolled out like a pretzel. I already know that somebody gonna come in there, some little dude gonna come in there and with to pull up my finger, gonna just leave me somewhere bleeding
and flex you, right?
Yeah,
right.
I'll give you props for that. I know I'm not gonna do that.
So
I know I'm not gonna do that.
He's like, I already know my memories. So here's the thing, though, right? So today, second day, right?
Okay.
I'm like, all right, cool. Like I could do, keep on doing what I did yesterday. Just like with just really trying to get my technique down.
Got it.
Work on the heavy bag and really be able to understand the technique and get that down to a science. So, but he has a ring inside the and let me tell you what the spot is like. Remember from Rocky?
Yeah.
The old school gym here. That's what it reminded me of. It was like there's no frills, it's all business. I like that, right?
Okay.
He has a ring in there, so in the ring, like he's training people, whatever, like people who actually are competing. So tonight, he said out of nowhere, Maurice, get in the ring with me. And I'm like, fam, no. I'm like, I said, hey, coach, today's my second day, man.
Okay, so you knew that this was about to be some.
I didn't know though. Like I'm thinking like, okay, I'm just gonna hit the heavy bag again. You know what I mean? But he said, no, get in the ring with me. I said, bro, I said, coach, this is my second day. He said, I don't care, just get in the ring.
Got it.
Man, if this wasn't the way to get somebody humble and remind somebody what their place is in life,
he did it too.
Oh, bro. And the thing, it wasn't even about like me getting my butt kicked or anything like that.
Right.
It was just like him really showing me how bad my technique is and everything. You know what I'm saying? And to me, and you know how arrogant I am. My ego went
as it should. Maybe that's his plan though. He's gonna break you down to build you up.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or maybe he just had to get some extra ego boost in too. Like, let me work this dude over real quick. More props to you.
But
man.
But like that's the thing though, is that the conditioning though is I love the conditioning. It reminded me of like when I used to wrestle. In terms of just like that pain, that tinge you used to get. You know what I mean? That you used to get from football and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure people are like wondering, like, okay, who's this guy who's with?
Right. Everybody on my phone know, but everybody else like, man, who is this yellow dude up there?
Yeah. Y'all, I have the esteemed pleasure of being joined tonight by a good personal friend of mine who I've known for a very long time, Mr. John Robinson. John Robinson.
Hey, everybody. Hey.
That's right. We go back. We go back years.
Yes.
Going back to the college days. Yes. Going back to like because you went to Oregon State University.
Oregon State, right?
You went to Oregon State University.
Right.
You came from out of Aurora.
Yep.
And John used to always come to the parties. Whenever he was in town, he always come to our fraternity parties, our sigma parties and stuff and everything. That's how we got cool. And lately, the acting bug hit you, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
you know what I mean? So say what's up to the peoples, man. Like, let them know who you are.
What up, everybody, man? This is your boy John Robinson. Like Maurice said, man, we've been knowing each other for years. Always wanted to do the acting thing, and I mean, I played with it. It was times I was like, okay, I'm about to go ahead and do it. I even try to figure out how to try out for the part and all that, and then get scared. But then, girl Ange dog, man, she just, man, she pretty much like, listen, dude, I'm tired of you talking about it.
Yeah.
You pretty funny. I know I love you, but you're pretty funny. Go do it.
Yeah.
I support you. Go do it. And man, I couldn't have found a better person to try to dip my toe in that water with than you, man.
Appreciate it, brother.
You, Andre Boyd,
yes,
like that, man.
Yeah, Dre Boyd.
Like, they trying to just like they entice people into putting themselves out there, and y'all work with us, and it works, man.
Bro, how long you been knowing Dre for?
Man, I've been knowing Dre since high school.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've been knowing Dre since I'm literally since I first started high school. And when he was older, he was in a grade higher than me, but we all just, man, hung out, got along.
Yeah.
I mean, it was at East Aurora, man, everybody hung out with everybody, man. And it's still people to this day. I see them in the street. Hey, what's up? There's people that I haven't seen probably since East Aurora. And we see each other, and it's all love.
Yeah.
That's what was spread.
All you Aurora cats, man. Like I admire y'all from afar because y'all still keep your group really tight.
Oh yeah.
All y'all keep y'all group really like super, just like, you know, like Fort Knox lock tight. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's what's up, man.
That's how you got to do it. Shout out to OTC, Burt, Butchie. That's what everybody know. Butchie D, Jermaine, of course, Big Bam, Tone. Even though Tone be somewhere under a rock watching movies, not really messing around, but Tone, Joe B, ain't no punk. So you know, it's just a whole bunch of people, man. I'd be with the whole thing would be me sitting here talking about people if I tried to go down the list. But everybody know my intentions. I love everybody. I try to get along with everybody. Try to just keep it moving, man. Keep growing.
That's what's that's how it is right there, man. And what's cool too is that, you know, you've going back to the whole acting situation is that you took a really like a nosedive into this. Like, you know, and I'm talking about like just like straight like I'm immersing myself deep into this entire thing because with just this year alone, 2019, you've been in 3 projects.
Yeah.
You know, you were in Adultish.
Yep.
You did the program at National Louis.
Yep.
And then and now you in Rap Mom.
Rap Mom. And then don't forget about the other play with Benita. That's 4.
Oh,
that's 4.
The Encounter.
Yep.
Yeah. You Encounter. Shout out to the Benita. What's up, B?
We working over here, man.
Yeah. 4. Yes, 4 projects in 1 year.
4 projects, man. I think that might make me an official member of the Act Pack.
Be careful how you use them words, bro.
You know it.
Be careful how you use them words, bro.
I ain't gonna say it too many times.
Right.
Everybody might appear.
Yeah. That could be in consideration down the line soon, though, and everything. So, okay, so 4 projects this year alone. That's heavy. There's there's pros that don't even do that many in a year. You know what I mean? So as I was saying, like, you know, you really did, you know, immerse yourself deep, you know, into this whole thing. So like, what has that whole like transition that's been like for you in terms of like you said, this is something you've always wanted to do for quite some time.
Absolutely.
And you know, she really pushed you into, you know, like she like the motivating engine to push you into this. How has that transition been for you?
It's been good, man. It's been a smooth transition. I think the best thing that could have happened to me, and it might have even been by luck, but the best thing that could have happened to me is that Adultish project, which was a stage play. And it taught me how to kind of pick up the lines, how to develop your character into who, like trying to pretty much just melt you into that character. And knowing that that's not too much room for mistakes. Once I did that, I mean, it seemed like it was easier because you telling me, hey, I want you to play this, and then I have the opportunity to do it 2 or 3 times after you say cut, and then I can do it however I want it, however many times I want. But with the play, you had to be pinpoint precise, or that could mess up everybody.
Yeah. So
you had to be on top. So that pressure, it actually molded me into understanding how to absorb those lines, how to absorb the character, how to just make that thing yourself, your own. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's the thing is that especially with theater feel is really pivotal when it comes to when it comes to understanding character development, and when it comes to just making sure that you really understand that there's a point where you had to separate yourself and become who you were portraying on stage. Because that's the thing, is that with film, you have a lot of mechanics that are kind of like working in your favor to let the audience to kind of like, fix the audience's mind, to let them know who is who. Like for example, like when let's say like you're watching a movie. When the villain gets on the screen, the mood will change, the lighting will change, the music will change, the sound effects will change, the whole the angles will change and whatnot. The entire atmosphere is completely different. And then that lets you know, okay, that's the guy I'm supposed to be booing the whole time. But on stage, you don't have those kind of luxuries necessarily. I mean, like you can put them, you can implement them. Obviously, like you can play some some mood music in the background, and you can adjust some lighting. But in terms of like encapsulating the entire aura of this character, in terms of like where they're going character wise, that's up to you as the actor to be able to really be able to create that, in terms of like the way how you deliver and everything. So I think like with you personally, you have had an advantage, like a distinct advantage, because this like going back to like what you've done this year so far, you've done 2 stage plays and 2 films. So like you really have had a chance to be able to immerse yourself on both sides of the fence, really. So I mean, like, it really is like a direct head start for you, getting into this whole thing and all that stuff and everything. Man. Do you still see yourself doing this?
Oh, absolutely. Surrounding myself around people like yourself, and I'm not just saying that because you're here, but surrounding myself with talented people that's willing to share that space for everybody to grow. Man, I do this. I'm ready for the long haul. I mean, I have to be realistic and understand that it's not just me stepping up saying, hey, I want to act. I know I got to put work into it, but this just the experiences I've been dealing with as far as this last 4 projects. I know that there's space for me to grow, excel, and just build off of.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you said that, because I got a lot more for you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna keep you busy. For real, like seriously, and we're gonna talk about that because after this whole thing, I gotta start working on February. Yeah. So we're gonna talk about
that since you said it.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Crazy, dude. This drink is delicious. This drink is delicious. Y'all. So we were talking earlier. I'm not sure if y'all. I'm not sure where y'all at when it comes to like your beverage choices and whatnot and everything. But John and I, we were talking about this. I think we were talking about this last time we were here filming, but we're kind of like staying away from like pop and all that stuff and everything like that.
What up, Rich? I know I'm sounding like I got some type of ailment that I'm just yelling out names. But what up, Rich? These are my brothers, man. Yeah. Rich, the West Coast OTC is right there.
Rich, West Coast OTC. What up, Watt? Welcome, man. Welcome. But John bought a whole bunch of these like these flavored waters, and like they really are on point. So that's why I'm like hydrating, because I'm like recovering from earlier. But these are really helping. Right. These are really helping.
If I'd have known that, I'd have brought like some frozen peas and put over your
eyes. Right. For real, man. Just to be able to mend the pain.
Right.
Today was crazy, man. Today was 9/11. Today was the anniversary of that.
Yeah.
And it's nuts, man, because like I still think about like whenever this day comes and all that stuff and everything. I'm not the most patriotic person walking around.
Okay.
However, the one thing that really stood out to me about when that all went down was like that was like the one time when everybody was like on the same page with something. You know what I mean? On the same page, just like okay, what happened was really crazy. You know what I'm saying? Was crazy as ever. I remember when it happened, I was actually asleep.
Me too. Me too. I felt you were gonna say that. Me too.
I was actually asleep, and I was living. I was on campus. My roommate, my ship, Dave Baker. Shout out to Dave Baker.
Okay.
Yeah, you remember
what
Dave?
Up, Dave?
Yeah. My ship. He woke me up. Yeah. He woke me up saying. And he's a low waking us up because he got up every day at like 5 a.m. or whatever. He came up, Reese, wake up. Hey, You got any family in the military? And I'm like, dude, what?
What's that got to do? Right.
I'm like, bro, it's like 8 a.m., man. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, man, my cousin. I'm talking about my cousin. I thought my boy Sam. And he's like, all right, check on them because we're about to go to war. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? He's like, somebody just hit the World Trade Center. So I'm thinking like, okay, well, like when the way he said it, it sounded so like it didn't feel like it was that. Fact. Yeah, it didn't feel like it was that big. Like it felt like, okay, well, it's like another Oklahoma City bombing kind of thing where somebody just exploded some what's called whatever.
Internal.
Yeah, but then like when I got up and actually went to the TV, I saw what they showed on TV. It's like, shoot, like this. Like this for real. And another thing, and then like everybody was just like, classes were canceled. People like the student center just like just balling and all that stuff and everything like that. And to me it was a big deal because I saw every channel was was covering it. When I saw Channel 11 was covering it, like there was no Sesame Street, no Mr. Rogers.
You knew it was big.
Yeah, no Zoobly Zoo.
Right.
I'm like, if there's no Zoobly Zoo on right now, then this is a big deal.
Something happening, right? Absolutely. I remember that.
How's that my measuring?
Right. He measured major events on
PBS. Yeah, WTTW shows.
Nah, man, I remember I was asleep as well. I came upstairs, man. My dad, God rest his soul, he was watching TV, and my dad was one of those people that he takes news with the grain of salt. He looked shocked, and I'm thinking, okay, it looked like a movie.
Yeah,
remember how they kept showing it? It looked like a movie, and I thought he was just watching a movie. But then it was like he said something similar. It's just like, something's about to happen. America then got into something, and I just remember thinking, oh man, I just in my mind because I was at Oregon State at the time, so I was like, man, am I gonna be able to go back?
Because
I was supposed to go back that week.
Yeah.
And
that was the first week of school.
Yep.
Yeah, for that
I was supposed to go back that weekend. I just remember, man, I was not going to be able to go back. I didn't go back until the following week. And then even then, it seemed like everything was just looking like a military base at O'Hare.
Yeah.
And it just, when I got to Oregon, it was just crazy how it changed. Because in Oregon, there's a very high Muslim community. There's a very high population of Muslims and a very high population of just immigrants. And you could tell everybody was on edge. They didn't know what to think. So I had my first wake up call to what life is like outside of America. Because the coming there was like, wait a minute, am I in the enemy lines?
Right.
Why everybody looking at me? And then they made it to the point where they was making sure people understood that they weren't that type of Muslim, and it was just crazy. It was a crazy time, man.
Yeah,
it was even crazier things that happened there, but it was for the most part, it was one of those things where society actually stood still for a second and tried to collect itself, and it was weird. That's
true too. That had to make them I'm talking about like the Muslim students feel like, how are we being perceived right now? Like, are we being perceived as like that we're part of that? That we're connected to the Taliban, and we condone what they did and whatnot and everything. Like it really did give you kind of like a window into what they were going through.
Absolutely.
At the time. I remember it was I think it was a day or two later, they had everyone come to the everyone on campus. They had everyone on campus come to the student center, and we did kind of like this. It wasn't like a rally, but more it was just like kind of like an open forum for everybody to be able to kind of speak their minds and whatnot and everything, and see how everyone was feeling, where everyone was at, mentally and everything. And I just remember seeing in the very middle all the Muslim students, even the ones who don't even interact with each other, they were all together at in the very middle of this entire thing, and you could tell that they were like kind of like man, we're here for each other because we don't know how everyone is looking at us and whatnot and everything. You know what I mean? Like it really was a window. Like I said, it was a window into what they were going through, and it was nuts. Not trying to sound insensitive,
right,
or anything,
right.
But the one thing that's to this day still stands out to me about 9/11 2001.
I already know where you're going. All right.
All right.
People have to understand that that one of the things that we share not only is the love of arts and theater and acting, is that we have, Maurice and I have a very, very large, huge love for music.
Yes.
And whether that be hip hop, rock, whatever, music is one of the things that we talk about no matter what we do. We end up, it always comes back to it. So I know that's what you about to talk about.
Yeah.
And just is people asking what's going on. We vibing, man. This is Maurice's podcast. He was gracious enough to invite me to it, and this is something that we do even without cameras. So we just in there vibing and just he interviewing and
this is how it is. Yeah, this is how it is. We just chopping it up in here, y'all, and y'all with us tonight with this. But one thing that always stood out to me about that day in particular, the blueprint drop that day, right? The blueprint drops that day.
Absolutely.
It goes on that week to sell close to 500,000 copies that week.
Yep.
Like I said, not trying to sound insensitive, but the thing that just trips me out is that there were people out there who said, "Hey, I know the world's about to end right now, but I gotta get a new Hove."
Jay just dropped. Exactly.
I gotta get that new Hove.
Right. Jay just dropped. And he started out, he kicked off the album, This is Nas.
Yeah.
So that whole thing, it was just like, okay, I understand that's happening. I know something happened over there in New York, but guess what else happened in New York? Jay just dissed Nas.
Yeah,
that's how he did it.
We gotta talk about it's like we gotta talk about Takeover. You know what I mean? Like I understand like what's happening right now. Like, we under attack and it's crazy, but hold up. Did y'all hear Takeover though?
Did y'all hear Takeover?
You know what I'm saying?
if it had to happen, that was good music. That was good music to listen to. Yeah, I know. Everybody was going crazy over that album.
Yeah,
trying to figure out what was the next move,
bro. That to me, Blueprint 1. To me, I think that was like, to me that's my favorite Jay album. That's my favorite Hove album. I think that's his best work. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Because all right. If you look at like, there's like a like between volume 2, between volume 2
in my lifetime.
Wait, what volume 2? No. What was the album with Hard Knock Life?
In My Lifetime.
That was In My Lifetime.
Volume 1, I think.
Wait, Reasonable Doubt.
In My Lifetime.
In My Lifetime. But wait, number 2 was had a different title. Volume 2 had a different title though, right?
But no, it was In My Lifetime, Volume 2. I think it was 2 of them. Okay. I might be wrong, man.
It's the one with him leaning on the car.
That's Hard Knock Life. That's the one that everybody bumped.
Yeah,
that's my favorite. Yeah.
That's your favorite
that's
one.
My favorite one.
All right, that one's hard. But you see, with Volume 3, that's when you could tell the budget was much better.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he had Dre on there, doing the beats. He had Tim doing the beats. He had Swiss doing the beats. Yeah. I think he even had he had Just Blaze on a couple of tracks as well too. Yeah. Like that's when the budget was right. Yeah. But BP
Hard Knock Life.
That's the name of the album, right? Yep. All right, Volume 2, exactly. And then Volume 3.
Shout out to my cousin Larry and my cousin Yusef. That's who need to be in here because he's a conspiracy theorist king.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
We're gonna jump in that in a second.
He already went in on
it.
Go ahead, though.
But you see that there was not only a financial difference between the projects.
Yes.
But you also saw that Hove was really elevating himself when he came to his craft. You know what I mean? Like, he was like, when you listen, especially because we were talking about Takeover a minute ago. Right. When you go back and listen to Takeover, and when you break down that song, like just like bar for bar,
right,
like each bar has so many levels to it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just like listen to it one time and just like and get it all in. Like that takes years to digest. Right. You know what I mean? And so that's why it's like he kicked off that album with that song. Right. That's like, dang, like he's on a whole different level, and that's why to me. Especially because BP, like from top to bottom, is everything's a banger on that album. So that's why to me that's the best one.
But you know what I compare that to? Those two projects, and you make a good point, but I always think NWA, Straight Outta Compton, is my favorite album. But I cannot deny the follow-up album. I don't know if I can say it, but Ends for Life. That the production on that. Swallow Straight Outta Compton whole, but Straight Outta Compton, the message it was shooting, the fact that it had Cube still in the mix, that one was superior to me.
Yeah.
But like I said, but like with Jay-Z's two projects, the production was better, but just the raw, the gritty, he had his hand in the street.
Yeah.
It's like verbally, he still had his hand in the street, saying stuff that everybody related to. Shout out to Butchie D. Everybody related to, and just the stuff that he was saying was just like, okay, that dude that's real deal right there. That guy is real deal. And but then the other side was when he went to the blueprint, it was like, okay, I'm done with the street. I'm just, but come with me. That's what it was like. So the same thing happened with NWA, and I thought that, like I said, I'll go straight out of Compton before I go with the second project.
Yeah, because straight out of Compton, that was the reason why that resonates so hard. Because I do agree with you. The second album was
far superior,
yeah, much better,
right? Production wise,
right? But it was straight out of Compton that was so different from what we were getting. Because that came out. Well, that came out like 89, 88, yeah, in the late 80s. So I mean, when you look about what was around in hip hop at that time,
right?
It was nowhere near that.
Absolutely.
It still had that more more happier, more party tone to it and everything. And you know what I'm saying? Especially like, coming from the West Coast, like this is a whole different vibe too. And so it's like that album alone literally like, constructed its own genre. Yeah. Like its own subgenre hip hop. And you never saw that before. Like now, I mean, there's so many subgenres of hip hop, it's crazy. But back then though, seeing like, seeing like this entity be able to, construct its own subgenre was like, whoa, wait. I hear what Rakim and all them Kumo D talking about over here, but what are they talking about? And they saying what they're saying? Yeah. They saying those words in this music.
But see, the allure to that, and I think people can understand where I'm coming from, is that we saw, from us being in the Chicagoland area, Chicago and so on and so forth, we saw GD, VL, your Kings. And then it was like, we listened to Straight Compton. It was like, there's none of that, but there's still some hard dudes over there.
Right.
Repping Crip, Blood, or some of them just repping their neighborhoods. And it's like, that they look like us.
Right.
They even sound like us a little bit, but they doing something different. I want to plug in. That's what I liked about NWA. Yeah. That's why to this day I'm still repping Ice Cube. You can see, but we related. It's all about the relating to the subject matter.
And we're like, that's all on wax? Like,
like,
they saying all this on wax right now?
Absolutely.
So that's the thing is that you have, that's the thing is that like you have the influence of the West Coast, right? You see like, what was happening out there. You have like what we're talking about earlier, like what today was all about, when it comes to like, recognizing like everything, like, what happened back on 9/11 and such. But what came from that though was a lot of questions that came up. You know what I mean? So that brings me to why are we here tonight?
Right.
So going back to the top of this show, when we were at the Mexican spot, it was myself, John, and Ruben Ramirez. Shout out to Ruben. And we were talking, and we started talking about Tupac.
Yep.
And I'm not sure how we got on this subject about Pac, but we started talking about Pac and because we all know, we know that this week is his 23 years, right? The 23-year anniversary of his death. And we were talking about just like, how crazy that was back in 96 when all that happened and whatnot and everything. But there's also just like how there were a lot of 9/11 conspiracy theories. Right. There's a lot of Tupac conspiracy theories as well too. You know, in terms of like, with his death for a very long time. If y'all were around, y'all followed hip hop back in 96. After Pac's death, there was a very long period of time where people, including myself, I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. I'm part of that too. I was drinking that Kool-Aid as well too, where people just did not believe he was dead.
Would not accept it.
But that's the thing that's what was crazy. There were so many bullet points back then that actually made sense. As to why. And I'm sorry, I might get back into my 1997 self, my 1997 sense of myself. So forgive me if you know what I mean. Just work with
my girl people. Angie might too, because she loved Tupac.
Yeah, but
she'd leave me for Tupac.
Hey, Christine the same way too as well. So, but no joke. I really thought that this man was alive still. Yeah. I really for a little bit of time thought he was still alive. It made a lot of sense. There were too many factors that, you know, like, I know people say like the video I Ain't Mad at You.
Yeah.
Because that came out and whatnot and everything, and people were saying that it was very similar to, you know, like the way he died.
Yep.
I was
Live and Die in LA.
Yeah.
Where he's wearing clothes that was after he passed away. Like they were saying, he was wearing the Jordans that came out after he died.
Okay, was that true? Because
I never paid attention. I didn't know, man. I didn't get a pair of Jordans since I was 30, dude. I couldn't tell you, dog. I couldn't tell you. I just know that
them in the 12s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
No, but the one. Okay, so here was my thing, right? The one conspiracy theory about Tupac's death that still to this day nobody's ever been able to question. No one's ever been able to answer this. No one's ever been able to make sense of this and everything, right?
Right.
The album Machiavelli.
Yeah.
All right. The album Machiavelli. If you go back, if you still have the CD, I know some of y'all hip hop heads still have the CD, like in y'all cases. But if you go back and you look at that CD, all right. Now this is a Death Row album. There's an album from Death Row Records. Okay.
CD, what up?
Every album that came from Death Row Records, no matter what album it was, I don't care if it was Miss Chalet, I don't care if it was Snoop, I don't care if it was Dre, I don't care if it was Nate Dogg, Pound, whomever it was, MC Hammer, I don't care. It always said the executive producer was Marion Suge Knight on every Death Row album, right? Machiavelli, the album that came after Tupac's death.
Right.
You look on the back of the CD, and you look even inside the book, it says executive producer, Simon.
Right.
Who is Simon?
Right.
Who is this Simon? Who is Simon? Seriously. And nobody has ever been able to answer that. So the only thing that I could come up with, if you want to be on some biblical type stuff, and anyone, like, you know, if anyone's watching, you know, you guys are really ingrained into the Bible, please, you know, help me out with this. But from what I understand, though, Simon,
Baby Horchata is in the building, man. Just so you know, Ruben. Yeah, I hate to cut you off, but that dude's supposed to have been here with us, and he lamed out and with the X-Files role, and got brainwashed. He said the zoo.
Yeah, right. He's like, I don't want that smoke. I'm going to see the lions and the tigers instead. Right.
No, sorry. Simon.
But I'm saying though, Simon, I believe in the Bible, was either a follower or a watcher over Jesus.
Right.
And then when you connect it with the way how the album cover was to Machiavelli, what was the album cover? Tupac getting crucified.
Absolutely.
You know, just like Jesus Christ.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, see, I don't know if it came before or after Millicent. I don't know if it came before or after, but I found out when we talked about that. Remember, we talked about it here, and I looked at it again. Supposedly Simon is Suge Knight. That was his nickname that he gave himself, his moniker. Now, like I said, I don't know if he did it before or after, but I think he tried to play with our hearts with that.
But why? That's what I'm saying. Why use it at that point in time? Like if this was a nickname that you've been writing with for quite some time, this is the album that you choose, and literally this is the only album, may I add,
right,
that you choose to use that nickname.
Yeah.
On. You see what I'm saying?
I think that's what I'm saying. I think that like because they already knew Snoop was leaving. He wanted to leave at least.
Right.
And Tupac was a cash cow. I think they was trying to milk that situation for whatever they could. I mean, the whole in the beginning where they say if you listen to it, take all the music away and say Suge shot him.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that? Mm-hmm.
So, on Bomb First. Yeah. Yeah. I know you're talking about.
They said, "What up, Adrian?" Ruben said, "We're gonna be missing by tomorrow with all these conspiracies."
Right.
So no, but if you listen to that, like they squeezed every promotional grab they could out of that situation. I feel Suge Knight, he goes for what do you call those people that they take whatever advantage they can of the situation.
Like kind of like milking,
That's what he do.
Yeah,
that's what he did. I mean, when he couldn't use the whole "I'm gonna bully everybody in this side of the Mississippi," it was like I gotta say that Tupac's still alive. I gotta say that I know where he at and all that type of stuff. I don't know, man. I think I think he had something to do with that Simon thing.
So you're saying, okay, so wait, because this is making sense. So you're saying that because obviously Pac was worth a lot, to the label and that and all good stuff and everything, and Pac was on his way out as well too, before he was killed.
Right.
So this was kind of like Suge's way of keeping the intrigue up and the intrigue alive.
Yeah.
So people can continue to ask questions and then also focus their energy and also like and this their primary focus was still on death row.
Yep.
Even though, Pac was quote unquote gone.
Yep. So like trying to connect dots because we could not accept that Tupac had left us. I think that they were trying to connect the dots, and those dots had to go through death row with the Simon, with the I know where Tupac's at. I know or Snoop. He's leaving, but we're gonna try to keep him on. We're gonna do whatever we can to keep him a part of this death row thing.
Yeah.
Making so many different people the president, the CEO of death row. Like it was always like every other month it was a new person, whether it be Daz, dude from Above the Law, Cole 187, even Corrupt. Like everybody became a CEO at one point. So it was almost like trying to figure out who's the CEO this time.
Yeah.
This material, this album, who's the CEO. So
yeah.
I think there is a conspiracy, but I think a lot of it was driven by Suge Knight.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
See, the thing is though, is that the older I got, the more I got removed from the whole theory about him being alive.
Right.
But the older I got, I really was more, I think the more and more I believe that Suge had a hand in that. Because back then I was such a death row fan that to me Suge Knight was just like was the be all end all of everything. So when folks were saying that Suge set him up, I'm like, shut up. No, Suge didn't do that.
Your friend said Suge Knight alias was also Big Simon. TL. Also, and my cousin Yusef, he said this is the best podcast on Facebook. So there you go,
my man. I appreciate you,
props.
Brother.
He give you props. I
brother.
believe you.
Seriously, appreciate that. But I'm saying though, like it made more sense more and more that Suge was like, what was behind all that to me. Because even like when you think about like the shooting in Vegas that took place, all the bullets hit Pac directly.
Right.
He was on his way out. Right. He found a really unique loophole to satisfy his 3-album commitment with Death Row, making All Eyes on Me 2, a double disc. That's why it was a double disc because it was considered 2 albums.
Absolutely.
Machiavelli was coming out, and then Pac was gonna be out. Suge was like, nah, you're not gonna leave. You're not gonna leave here and blow up somewhere else.
Absolutely.
We're gonna we're gonna take care.
And he would have blew up. He would have blew up.
Man,
every project, it was like get better and better and better. He was like, and Tupac, and I know people gonna probably be wanting to chase me around for this, but Tupac wasn't the most lyrical, but his charisma is what made him the superstar that he was. It was what made us look past the fact that he wasn't the most lyrical, but crowned him the best rapper. That it was his charisma. I mean, I haven't seen many that match that.
Yeah, all right. I think I do agree. I do agree with you 1,000,000% when it comes to charisma. But right. I'm not going to take away. All right. If you compare him to like Nas, if you compare him to like other other artists at that time, especially who are more like lyrical masterminds, maybe he wasn't there with that, but his ability of telling stories.
Oh, no, Pac was lyrical. Don't get me wrong. Pac was lyrical. Pac was a rapper, and he was in some cases a rapper's rapper. It was just that at the time, you're looking at the golden age of hip hop. I mean, at any given time, anybody could have showed somebody out. Like like it was like you don't forget you had the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
Don't forget you had Biggie. You had Nas. You had
Outkast.
You had people on death row that was lyrical. They just didn't have the same charisma as Pac. You had like you said, you had the South was emerging from the dust.
Yeah,
Scarface, Q.
Yeah.
You had a lot of people that like at any given time that person could have been the most lyrical. But it was his charisma that like made him float above all of that.
Yeah.
You know, like he was just right there to bunch with him, but that gave him a notch. They gave him a bump up above everybody, an advantage. And I mean, women loved him, so he got those sales.
Right.
He crossed over into the mainstream. White people were starting to pick up those tickets. You know, that's where the money is right there. I mean, that's just what it is. It's nothing has anything to do with race, but that's who was buying.
Yeah,
we was getting the bootlegs over in Halstead.
Oh yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? We wasn't doing. They were buying. They were buying the tickets and the albums.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
And they all love Pac.
That's the thing, though, is that like with that, with the I mean, that's a whole other conversation and whatnot and everything. But like that really is kind of like in a way, it is kind of like the barometer measure when it comes to like how financially successful you are as an artist.
Right.
Like when you have when you have white suburbia coming to your shows, buying your music, putting you on the radio stations and whatnot and everything.
Not afraid to go out there. Yep.
Right, exactly. That was what was happening with Pac at that time. Like absolutely. I think like because like even like when Dear Mama came out, that really I think that's what really like put him on everyone's radar. I know most of us we're messing with him ever since Strictly From My and then like Tupacalypse Now and all that stuff and everything. But when Dear Mama hit though, that's when it was like he was all over. You know what I'm saying? Like he became a household
exposure.
name.
Yep, he was exposed to like I said, to the masses.
Yeah. But going back to those theories, though.
Yes.
There's a few more I got to touch on.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. You sent over some good ones.
And this is why I'm saying, like, back then it made sense to be able to scratch your head to this and kind of wonder, like, is he? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? All right. So they said that. I believe one of the ones that stuck out to me a lot was that from the time when All Eyes on Me dropped, that year, to his death, that was a 7-month difference. It was 7 months in between. I believe All Eyes on Me came out, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong or whatever. I believe it came out in February of '96. So that's March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 7 months. Yeah. That's 7 months right there. In terms of the whole number 7 conspiracy that was going around. Right. The time of he was shot and then 7 days later he died, I believe. Because I believe it was he was shot on the 7th. And he
on the 13th he died, right?
Wait, so it's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 7 days.
7 days.
Yeah. 7, so 7 days later he died. He died, they said at 4:03 p.m.
7.
4 plus 3 is 7.
Right.
And so they were saying that that's months, right?
Right.
That's days.
Yes.
Right. That's time. Right. What's left? Years. So they were saying that if he was to come back, it would have been 7 years after the death. So it was at 96. So you're talking about 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 03. Was it 03? It was 03, right?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're over here kind of like
right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10.
Let me get my abacus out.
Right. Right. Where's my Texas? Right. And then that didn't happen, obviously, or whatever. You know what I mean? But but I remember back then I was like, oh man, we got 4 more years left.
Yeah. Oh no, don't forget, man. Hey, leave it up to those the concert promoters that was talking about special guests, and then they be playing Tupac music in the background.
Right.
Yeah, I remember. We got did a couple of times. We got tricked a couple of times on that one, man. But I remember Bird told me a story, man. Yeah, somebody ran across the stage with bald head, no shirt on. Oh, yeah, everybody waited for that, and it was basically they got us for our money. That was probably like 7 times we got. So that's another 7. But no, the 7 years, man. Everybody waited for that 7 years to happen, and it came and went a couple of times over now. So.
Wait, hold on. You remember when Death Row? Remember when Death Row was trying to have that resurgence?
Yeah.
When
Petey Pablo and all.
Right. When they I think that, and this is why Dre named the album Chronic 2001, because Suge put out an album called Chronic 2000. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Death Row put out an album called Chronic 2000, right? Okay. And it was supposed to be like their resurgence, this the new Death Row. This is the new Death Row records. Okay. So they had like Crooked Eye on there. They had this white boy named Milkbone on there.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not playing with you, bro. Look it up. Seriously. I'm not playing, no cap. And they had somebody on there named the Realist, right? The Realist. Yeah. This cat, I'm not playing with you. He sounded exactly like Pac. Exactly like Pac.
I do remember that guy.
Remember that?
I remember because him and Crooked I came out almost the same time.
At the same time,
I
right.
remember that.
At the exact same time,
right. That.
Right. And so that kind of adds to what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Making you wonder, like,
that was his thing, man. That was his thing. Yeah. He tried to take advantage of every opportunity he could to keep the spotlight on him and that Death Row Legend. Every time.
Too Shook was wrong, man.
Yeah.
But and so another piece of the conspiracies as well too was the song what was the song Thug Love with Pac and Bone. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
And they said that when you listen to Busy Bones' part,
okay,
right? Because he had the first verse and the first verse in the song.
Okay.
When you listen to Busy Bones' part, he rips it up. He kills it. He just destroys. He destroys that first verse. But the very end, when he's done, and when Pac is talking, because Pac starts talking immediately, you can hear Busy in the background saying, "He's alive. He's alive. He's alive. He's alive."
Really?
Yeah. Seriously, check.
I gotta go back and listen to that.
Listen to that tonight.
Yeah,
listen to that tonight. It would say you can hear him.
Pac might be alive, dude.
Somebody on here say he's hanging out with Elvis in the Caribbean.
There you go. It might be.
Yeah.
They might be coming up with a collabo 2020.
Oh man. Keep
your ears out, y'all.
Yeah. That'd be nuts. A Pac Elvis collabo. What's the world coming to?
Right.
But that's the thing though, is that that's one of those things, like one of those little sector pop that is love, that is always gonna keep you guessing. It's always gonna keep you wondering. It's always gonna keep the conversation going.
Oh yeah.
And whatnot and everything. You know what I'm saying? Because even to this day, like, here we are, 23 years removed, and we're still like, talking about, and then even when they start the whole hologram thing too as well.
Yeah.
They kicked off with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean that he like I said, once again, his charisma, man, it carried him through the decades. I mean that you see people. Don't get me wrong, like he's not the only person that had charisma, but he had that side that it was able to just smoothly transition over to the masses. And like some of the people are saying over here, he was waking up the masses, and that was something that that couldn't easily be done with, especially during that era of hip hop where everybody was trying to be hardcore.
Yeah,
he was doing it, and he was doing it to where he made everybody want to listen to what he was saying. As far as with fashion, as far as with trying to be a sex symbol, as far as with trying to be a thug, trying to be in the hood, like he mastered it all, man.
Yeah.
And that transitioned over. I mean, same with Elvis. He did what he had to do to make himself a household name.
Yeah, it's true. Best Pac album.
Best Pac album?
Yeah.
Might be Machiavelli. I'll be honest with you. It might be Machiavelli. I'm looking at between Machiavelli. Yeah. Nah. I gotta go with All Eyes on Me. Machiavelli was a good album though, but All Eyes on Me.
Yeah.
That double CD. Nobody. I mean, that set the stage for hip hop.
Nobody was doing that.
Nobody at all was doing that.
Nobody was that was the first double album in hip hop. I believe that was the very first rap album.
Yeah.
That was a double album. Yeah.
One of our guys is asking, do we have the ability to play music that we talked about? He's like, next podcast, try to do that.
Yeah. We
that would be awesome.
We can see. Yeah. We can try to make that happen and everything. See, that's the things that I go back and forth. Between All Eyes on Me and Machiavelli, because even like Machiavelli itself too and everything. It was going back to talking about growth. In an artist, you saw between those two albums, you saw a significant amount of growth. That was going into Pac. Like Pac was always like a revolutionary.
Yes.
But the way how he broke things down in Against All Odds, the very last track on that album, that was a different level.
Yeah.
That was a totally different level for him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That was, I think it would depend on the day.
Yeah.
One day Machiavelli could be the best album. Next day, All eyes on me, man. I think that's how it rolls.
But them joints that came out after he died, though, man, it was a booty,
man. Horrible.
Come on, man. And it's like, that's the thing is that I was still grabbing them just out of loyalty, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But I was sitting there like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
This ain't gonna get no rotation, no rotation. You know what I'm saying?
Man, the music didn't even go with what he was doing.
Nah, man. It was a whole bunch of just like over tracks. You know what I'm saying? That never were published or whatnot.
Yep.
And then they threw a drum beat behind it. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what happened.
The best material though, man. Do you remember back in the day, like going to like those mixtape stands and flipping through the books? You know what I'm saying? Like see like what was on each mixtape and everything. And remember at that time, that's when all of them, the Machiavelli 5, Machiavelli 6, Machiavelli 7.5, they were dropping like every week. You know what I'm saying?
And we was buying them.
Yeah.
Every time. Yeah. We were buying them and we were hoping.
But low key, those were better than the albums though.
Yeah. They mixed them right. Yep. They mixed them right. They mixed it up right. But I think that I've been a conspiracy theorist forever. I was thinking, okay, one of these mixtapes gonna give me the evidence that I need to know that Pac is somewhere alive and he gonna come back. Yeah, that's what I used to go looking for. I used to go looking for that. And
so you were looking for clues.
I was looking for clues. Call me Shaggy, me Scooby, whatever you want to call it. I was about to get on top of all of that.
I'm gonna prove everybody wrong. Listen to track number 6. And fast forward to 3 minutes 21 seconds. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about right there. But that's the thing that, like I said earlier, like all those factors is why, like this whole thing is just all love. When it comes to this, like it's hip hop in general and all this thing. But yeah, but whatever it is, I mean, like if y'all have some conspiracy theories when it comes to Pac or whatever you want to chime in with, hit us up, let us know and everything. And tell us what you think,
man. But it was some conspiracy theories that you had talked about earlier today, man. We gotta speak on it, man. I forgot all of them, but you gotta.
Well, go into it. We can do. We can do that next time, though.
Oh, okay.
We could definitely. We could definitely do that next time because we gotta wrap up and everything.
Got it.
But seriously, on the real though.
Okay.
You gotta come back. You gotta come back to
I'm doing this. I'm with this, man.
Okay.
I got the jitters out, and then we got the talking, and next people commenting. Yeah. I'm pretty sure people fine with us coming back and doing this, and I'm willing to do it.
All right, yeah, we're gonna make this happen again. Everything, John, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for coming in, man. How can people find you though?
Hey, man, I'm on Facebook. Well, really not so much nowadays, but definitely Instagram. OTC34. On Instagram, man, whatever show he trying to have, whatever movie he trying to do, I'm on that. I'm just trying to be out there, man. Generally, people just see me, man. I dip my head out every once in a while, say what's up, and then go from there.
That's right. And if y'all are going to be real quick, but if y'all are going to be at Stage 773 this Friday night for 606 Mania right here, come through the best stand-up show that's happening in Chicago. I will be there, obviously. John's going to be there. We got comedian Ruben Ramirez. We got T Bizzle. We got Benita. We got Madeline. We got Roxy. We got KC Omega, and we got headline Mona is gonna be there as well too.
Shout out to Mona, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm sorry, man. I know I'm gonna take this moment to throw this out here. Mona is super smart and super cute at the same time. I was sitting there looking at it like I just remember the first time we met. I was looking at her like. Okay, you look good. Let me.
Right.
But you talking about something tight though. You talking about some real stuff. But okay, I'm just playing. I don't want to get hot grits thrown on me when I get home.
Mona drops mad wisdom and come out. And that's what I'm talking about. Come out, see what I'm talking about. See who Mona is. Meet John. It's gonna be Stage 773 this Friday night. $10 to get in. $10 see 7 comedians. You can't beat that. Absolutely. Hit me up if you need information about tickets. Go to Stage 773 website. Look for 606 Mania, and we on there. John, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much, man. It's love. Everyone, thank you very much for tuning in tonight.
Shout out to OTC.
We will be back. I will be back in 2 weeks with James Gordon. So it's going to be on again. You should probably come through that night, too, as well.
Let me know, man. Just give me the date.
I got you, brother.
Send me location.
Thank you all. I love y'all. Y'all be safe tonight.
Because the weight is on the shoulders. We're not getting no more, we're older. We look around the corners. We tip most of the time. So got my order, look at this. Tonight I wanna live, yeah, I got a lot of love, yeah, but no more to give, look at this. What's the point of being rich?